Howdy y'all, JigSaw RC here, changed my name. Got some big monster Arma tires on here. I've been shredding tires like crazy. These things are amazing. Gotta watch my temps. My servo's pretty good. I had a little bit of an issue, steering problem, aluminum upgrades. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I had pins popping out. 1 second, sorry guys, here, my hand in the way. So, right in here, I've put these knuckles aluminum. I put the C-hubs and the caster blocks aluminum, as you see there. So, what I did was, these pins would always pop off, the top and the bottom. So what I did with the aluminum, I cranked them down as hard as I can. And I had steering problems. My steering servo went. If you don't know how to access that, you just take off this brace here. It comes off as one piece. There's the split there. There's one bolt here. This bolt is shorter. This bolt is longer, so remember that. And these two bolts are the same. So take off that. Your servo's in here. There's two little divots that go into the bearings there. So I stripped out my servo saver. I thought that something was wrong with my servo, so I went to the hobby shop and I was like, you know, that the output here was going, the servo was going full, but the tires weren't turning, so it was just stripping. So I put a new one in, and I figured out that when I upgraded to aluminum, I clamped these pins down and put Loctite in, and I clamped them down so hard that the tires wouldn't move freely. And I don't know how I didn't figure that out, but if anyone's having that problem, your pins are too tight, or if your pins are popping out, I recommend going to aluminum. Don't aluminum everything, because once aluminum bends, it's not going to bend back. I can say that over and over again, but if you're just tuning in, you might not have heard that. Bigger tires, be cautious of your temps, your servo. It's a risk. But the chassis slap, I put 70 weight oil in the front and 80 in the back. It's a little saggier in the back. I guess they have different springs, but it's pretty good for jumps. When I land, it really kind of stays on the... It doesn't do front flips mostly, and so yeah, if you got the aluminum, right? I got the Hot Racing aluminum and the just the Traxxas red caster block steering knuckle here. So these pins here, those little pins that go in to hold in the steering knuckle, the plastic, mine kept popping out every run. So I went to aluminum, they haven't popped out, but I did Loctite them and I tightened them too hard, so I couldn't steer. So I had a bad steering problem. Then I took them all off, took it to the hobby shop, he took off the tires. We took apart the servo. It had lots of torque, so we knew it wasn't the servo. Then he went down to here, and he's like, start from the outside and in. Something's not turning right. So we grabbed those, and we could barely turn them. So the servo was just stripping while it was trying to turn these that wouldn't turn. So it's pretty much the wheels were stuck, and the servo was trying to turn something that's got, you know, lots of force that I could barely turn. So I just upgraded to these red arms too. I think that looks wicked. Upper and lower. See the back side here. Put the light kit in. It looks wicked with this red body. I got my new body here. Nice and shiny, all reinforced. And also another hack to get the body to stay on is I grabbed a toolbox like this, little case. They're like $1 at Michael's or whatever. I'm in Canada. I cut out, this part has these edges, but the top part, I cut out I split this in half, and I put them in here. And then I just drywall taped and put some shoe glue or some aqua seal on there. And also at the back, I landed so hard that the shock towers went through the body. So I just put some holes and I zap strapped it because my body kept going over here, and that actually fixed it. So the tightening, it's really hard to snug it on, and the body does not pop off anymore. I'm going to put some double-sided tape along here and in here because it always pops off and it's just annoying. I know it doesn't do anything with performance, but it gets annoying. You know, you want it to look nice and you want it to look the same as you're driving around. So another hack is put double-sided tape here and in here, and then once you put your body on, you can clamp it on there and that won't come off. Put a little bit of thick plastic under here out of like a toolbox. If you have any thin plastic, you know, about like that thick, just put that there, and it's just got a little bit of a, you know, it's not flat here, so. But yeah, once I snug the body on, it really clamps it down, and the body's only come off maybe twice on some hard hits. This body I've been learning, so obviously it's completely wrap egg, but it's a basher, and I've bashed this thing. But I'm gonna go with this body for now until it's this rear end's probably gonna fall off soon. Might be just you know, might be just a roll cage and a couple hooks in here, but I'm gonna drive it till it looks absolutely disgusting, and keep this as my kind of shelf queen for now. Or for some speed runs, I've got some belted tires. I got the Power Hobby belted Scorpions coming in, so they're red rims and they're thin belted, low profile, and I think that'll be really good. Also, I'm in Canada. I would recommend upgrading to the VG Racing shock springs, or go to M2C Racing. And on the website, you can get the O-rings that go in here, and they got smaller holes, so it won't. The shocks are built very well, but they did one problem with the O-rings. The oil goes through too fast, so it'll stop that, and it'll still recoil, but it'll be better for landing jumps and stuff, and chassis slap. And these big tires help too. As you can see, when I push down, it just hits, right? So it helps a lot with chassis slap, and it just bottoms out the shocks there. It uses all the shocks. With the smaller tires, it only uses like that much. With the bigger tires, it uses it all. But you do have to worry about, you know, your drive to train, a bunch of other stuff. It's a lot of more mass, a lot more rotation. You know, this is just for looks. My black ones, my stock ones, are getting pretty beat up and had some chips, so I had it all apart doing the servo stuff. I took the whole front end off, trying to figure out what the problem was. It was simple, it was just that. Greased it up, put the pins back in, put a little dab of Loctite just when I was about to tighten it, screwed it in, and as you can see, it's got nice loose turning now, but they would not turn before. So yeah. I mean, these are the D-Boots Arma backflips, and all the 4S tires I've been buying, the smaller ones, the glue's just been ripping off, and I don't know what they used on these, but they are completely, like, I don't know, they're rock solid glued on there somehow. Such a weird kind of material they got. Usually you can kind of see the glue, you know. But yeah, oh yeah, here's my trenchers. So I've glued that because you can see the rim. I've popped all that off, so I put some glue on it. They're pretty much messed up. I gotta re-glue them every couple runs now, but I can't remember which tire it was, but I do have some one tread in the middle that opened up right here. There it is, that blew open, so the foam's coming out, but I think they use better foam in here. The Traxxas foam would just fly right out. This stuff's actually pretty good. So I put this tire forward so it doesn't rip anymore. So when it's going forward, it's not gonna, you know, if it's going this way, it's gonna rip it open. But yeah, for a battery and the light kit, I really enjoy that. I'm just gonna undo my battery. I really recommend this battery if you're looking for a good 4S. My hobby shop put the Traxxas connector on there. I don't know if it came like that, but they did that. I got the Gen Ace 6800 milliamp 120C True Burst 14.8 volts, and I would charge these at 3 amps. Sometimes I do at 6 just for a faster charge, but your battery will last longer if you charge them at 3 amps. And other than that, I did gearing. I got some good gear grease. It just comes in a tube. And I just pop off this, put some gear grease because I'm running metal gears. You can kind of hear them. Gotta probably put some more grease in. I went for a session, but you just put a little dab in and it rolls really smooth. But the metal gears, I was stripping plastic like crazy. Went to metal, held the motor a little tight when I tightened it up, and nothing's gone wrong so far. I also got some hot racing hardened steel ones. And yeah, this truck is a beast. The one problem I have is these screws are backing out. And yesterday I was doing some flips off a tree and the shock just came out. I was like, oh, what did I break now? But the screw just backed out slowly. So another hack is don't use Loctite on plastic. Use nail polish. Nail polish hardens and it dries and it doesn't ruin the plastic. I use hot pink just so I can see what's, it's really visible on what I'm using. You can use whatever color you want. These D boots actually have vents on the outside somewhere. They're kind of dirty right now, but they got 2 little vents on the outsides here, and they got some really good foam. And I've gotten in the rain with them, and it hasn't ruined anything. They're all still the same. Arma makes really good tires. I might get the smaller D boot backflips. These were $48 Canadian on Amazon. Arma D boot backflip 3.8s. I typed in. I thought they'd be this size, but they're a little bit bigger. They're not too much bigger, but definitely bigger. Not even much wider. Just just taller and a little more diameter. But yeah, thanks for tuning in again, guys. This is just a little review. I've had this thing for about 2 months. All I've had to replace was the knuckles. I mean, I didn't really have to. It was just getting annoying doing that pin. I've had to replace a few gears. Went to metal, haven't replaced it. And did the servo saver. Thank God I have the servo saver. Might go to aluminum with that, not sure. Plastic works great for now. Also, if your steering's getting bad, take off this. Right where this little cup is, there's a bearing and a bolt. Keep tightening that up and get this spring down pretty tight as you can, because it can back out and your steering might be wonky. So just get that nice and tight. And happy bashing, y'all, and Traxxas Maxx. Can't wait to get some more RCs and do reviews. Leave in the comments what you want me to do with this thing. I can send this thing as high and as far as you want me to do. Any tricks, any reviews, any questions you have, just hit me up. Thanks, y'all. And have a great day, great night, great evening, wherever you are. Cheers. Cheers to the RC world. Bye now.